Is this going to interfere with you?
No, you're good. I muted my mic, so Amanda can't hear me.
I just want to make sure
I can still hear you, Tony.
You can. Sorry. Hold on a second.
All right. Hi, everyone. This is Amanda Walworth, the 2019 Programming Director for JCI Michigan for CLC. So tonight we're going to do a webinar on Civic Leadership Certification. So the agenda, what is CLC? We're going to talk about JCI Michigan CLC, JCI USA CLC, do a Q&A, and then provide you guys with my contact information. So Civic Leadership Certification, or CLC, is a roadmap for the local chapter success. It covers 6 major areas. The first is compliance, motivate, collaborate, connect, invest, and impact. So compliance, JCI chapters are a legal entity and must adhere to regulations and responsibilities to keep their charters in good standing. Requirements for that are liability insurance, filing your 990, reviewing and revising the bylaws, and updating the membership database. The second one is motivate. So this is devoting time and resources to motivate leadership and members to accomplish the plan of action. We should provide training opportunities so that leaders know the expectations and what success looks like. Just a reminder that your chapter plan is due this Friday. So the requirements include the chapter plan initial and reviews, which are done each trimester, member survey, the membership plan, and monthly board meetings. The third item is collaborate. This is connecting with and collaborating with the resources that are available, such as elected officials, civic groups, the media, and other chapters. So requirements for this area of CLC are meeting with local government officials, letters of recommendation, visiting other chapters, and attending JCI Michigan conference or district events. The fourth area is connect. This is where we should integrate with the community and make sure community members are aware of our chapter and the great things that we do in our area. This includes communication and social media. So requirements in this area are creating a communication plan, weekly updates to social media, monthly updates to the chapter website, and written and phone communication with members, as well as appearing in news outlets. The fifth area, invest, includes physical resources such as cash and equipment, but also time for training, socials, mentorship, and resources that are used for the betterment of the chapter members and the community. This includes conducting monthly general membership meetings, conducting new member orientation, holding passport to civic leadership training, having members participate in competitions, and conducting projects in each area of opportunity. And the sixth and final area is impact. That's measuring success, making sure that we're making sustainable impact for everyone. Things in this area include conducting an active citizen framework project, participating in USJC and JCI programs, and achieving year-to-date growth. So for JCI Michigan CLC, we're going to go over how to access your chapter folder, how to complete the form, what substantiation is, and when it's due. So each chapter, access was granted to the Google Drive for their CLC folders. This was given to the chapter president or their designees. If your president or somebody on your board doesn't have access, please reach out to Beth Plant and I, so that way we can make sure that you are given access to the folders and your CLC form and the substantiation folders. There should be a folder for each trimester, and then there's also a guide to civic leadership certification that provides some basic overview information. So if you don't have access to that, please let us know. Within each trimester folder, there will be a CLC form for that trimester, and then a substantiation folder. So to complete the form, each trimester the form will have to be filled out. Top information is just the chapter, who's filling out the form, contact information, and then your 2019 base number, which is the number of chapter members you started 2019 with. And then there's different categories or different areas where you can earn points. Some things it's just if you completed it, you give yourself the point value. Other items require substantiation. For example, conducting new member orientation. You can get 50 points for each new member orientation that you hold. You have to provide substantiation to show proof of that. So you would enter how many points for however many sessions you held, and then document the date. Same thing with passport to the civic leadership training. You need to provide substantiation and the date that was completed. So what's substantiation? If you claim points for a task that requires substantiation, you will only receive those points if you submit the necessary documents. So within the folder for each trimester, you'll have the substantiation folder where you'll upload those documents. You can upload multiple documents or combine everything into one document, such as a Word document or a PDF. So what is substantiation? It can be photos, meeting minutes, sign-in sheets, data extracts. For example, for the social media posts, you can do a data extract out of Facebook that will show how many posts you did and when they were posted, or news articles. And then depending on what the category is, it'll usually tell you if it should be meeting minutes or different things that can qualify for it. Or if you ever have a question, you can let us know. And then what do you name your files? I would include your chapter name and a brief description, just so that way we know what that item is and can link it back to the appropriate item on the form. So when is it due? Trimester 1 is due April 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. All submissions for each trimester are due by 8 p.m. Trimester 2 will be August 16th, and then trimester 3 will be in January. The exact date is to be determined. So in addition to JCI Michigan CLC, there's also JCI USA CLC. So I'm going to go through how it's different, how you can access that CLC form, how to complete it, and then the substantiation that's required. So what is it and how is it different than JCI Michigan CLC? This ensures that JCI USA states and chapters are providing opportunities to their members to support their efforts toward sustainable impact. The submissions don't follow trimesters. There's dates throughout the year, and then the chapter plan reviews are due quarterly. And there's a separate submission portal and a slightly different format that's used for submitting that. And why should you do it? You guys are already doing most of these things anyway. You're holding general membership meetings, board meetings, planning projects. So if you're already doing the things, then you should give yourself credit for it. Many of the items that are on the JCI Michigan CLC are also on the National CLC. Ours is just a little bit more specific and has a little bit more detail. And then if you get 90% or more for the points on National CLC, you can get national recognition. So to access the National CLC form, you go to jcmember.com. It's granted to the chapter president and the designees that they noted on the chapter survey. So whoever has access to the membership database on JC Member can access this. It's about halfway down on the main screen. You should see an area that says Civic Leadership Michigan and then your chapter name. And then it'll list how much you've completed and how much has been approved. And you'll see that there's a blue link that says click here to submit items for the 2019 year. And it'll take you to a form. As you can see, it shows the submit by dates and what the items are. If you click on the plus signs where it says details, it'll give you additional information on what those requirements are or what that item is. So you can read that for more information. You can toggle yes or no if you've completed certain items. Then you can, if it requires substantiation, you would choose the file and upload it. If you're uploading multiple items for a single submission, or it's a really large file, they suggest that you put it into a zip file so that way it's easier to upload. And then these are approved by the state president or the National CLC program manager. And now I'll open it up to questions. Does anybody have any questions? I can't hear anyone.
Amanda, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yes.
Okay, so we have one question that has come in. Wine.Jaycees says that Amanda or Beth, Megan, Manny, and it says Michelle Kelly do not have access to the drive yet. So if you could reach out to Wine after the webinar, just make certain that they'll have access to that. They would appreciate it.
I think they were given access based on their Wine.Jaycees email.
Ah, okay.
One that was provided. We didn't get a response back as to who should have access, but I will follow up with them after the webinar. So
okay, and it's, yeah, not a problem. It's saved in the chat. That was the only questions we've had is responding with any inquiries.
Okay, if anyone else does have questions, you can reach out to Beth Plant and I. I've included our email addresses, which is our first initial and last name. So if after this webinar you have any questions or have any specific questions on items that are on the CLC form, please feel free to reach out. We're more than happy to help, but just make sure you're not waiting until the very end of the trimester and looking for assistance. I do suggest as we move through the trimester, that you update it as you're completing tasks and doing different projects. That way you kind of have your substantiation and your form filled out as you go, and it makes it much easier to submit everything at the end of the trimester. Anything else, Tony?
Nope, nothing else. That is it for all the questions that came in.
Okay, great. Thank you, everyone.